Ooh, what's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Hope everybody has been well. Guys, I came across this article a couple of days ago and I want to share it with you guys because if you're anything like me, throughout the history of Star Wars, the prequels and all that stuff, one thing has always been burning into my mind, and that is just how was Palpatine able to make it all come together as easily as he did? In the prequels, you saw he was operating right underneath the Jedi's noses, you know what I mean? Or snouts, or depending on what species you're talking about, scrotum. But anyway, he was able to do it, and he was able to do it most effectively, like a true devious, insidious master. You know what I mean? But it just seemed too easy to me. That he was able to make his plans come together, in every step of the way, everything went the way it was supposed to, up until Episode 9 when he ended up winning the whole shit because a Palpatine ended up taking the Skywalker name and marching off into the sunset like the Omen, you know what I mean? Like in that last scene of Episode 9, I half expected Rey to just turn around and be like, like in Michael Jackson, Thriller, when he's like, he's letting the girl know, it's gonna be all right, let's go out, I love you, and then he turns around. And his eyes are all like blazing red, and it's like you hear Vincent Price. That's how it was in Episode 9. I expected Rey to turn around that way because Palpatine ended up winning. And my thing was, how was it so easy, right? And it turns out, I saw this article the other day. Apparently, and this is very disturbing, guys. You might want to sit down for this. All right, it turns out that Yoda, our Yoda, might have known all along what was going on with the Sith and especially Order 66, but ignore it, he chose to. But he got a clear warning from the Force. You know what I mean? The Force warned Yoda clearly that Order 66 was going to happen, and Yoda, according to this, chose to ignore it, meaning ultimately that Yoda killed Cyrus. You know what I mean? So it's all Yoda's fault, according to this. All right, so I want to share this with you guys because this is most disturbing. I mean, these are very, very serious allegations here, right? So I want to share it with you, and if there are any Star Wars scholars out there, help me to understand, because I don't know if could this be, could this really be? I'm thinking, no, it's not true. It's impossible. All right, so anyway, this was on Screen Rant, okay? And it says here, Star Wars reveals that Yoda knew, God damn it, he knew that the clones would slaughter the Jedi. Star Wars reveals Yoda knew the clones would slaughter the Jedi. And then it says, the latest Clone Wars tie-in reveals that Master Yoda saw a vision of the clones' betrayal of the Jedi with Order 66, but failed to understand it. And this is by Thomas Bacon, as he's known in these parts, Thomas Turkey Bacon. All right, and it goes on to say, the latest Star Wars tie-in, an anthology from Star Wars, The Clone Wars, reveals the Force warned Master Yoda about the clones' impending betrayal. The Force warned Master Yoda. The Force, I guess it's some voice in the sky. Master Yoda, beware betrayal of the clones, clones. I tried to warn you, Master Yoda, but you didn't want to listen. I tried to tell you, but would you listen? No. And then it says, the Clone Wars were the perfect Jedi trap, engineered by Palpatine, so the Jedi would lose the minute they began to fight. They left the Jedi overextended, grief-stricken, demoralized, and compromised, and as a result, unable to sense the warnings of the Force. Kind of sounds like the way Bane played out Batman, you know what I mean? He let him get all run down and exhausted, and then he came in and he broke his back. Ooh! Woo! But that's what they're saying happened with the Jedi, alright? The tragic tale of the Clone Wars is told in the popular animated series that recently concluded on Disney Negative. I mean positive. I mean plus. Okay. And of course, they culminated in Order 66. And get your kicks on Order 66. All right, when Palpatine judged the time right, he issued the command that robbed the clone troopers of their free will and forced them to turn on their Jedi generals. And a disturbing sequence that was. The Jedi received no warning because their killers had no animosity, no anger, and no hatred, just a desire to obey orders. The Jedi died all over the galaxy with only a handful surviving, including, notably, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Master Yoda. Lucasfilm has recently published an anthology book, Stories of the Light and Dark, that allows popular authors an opportunity to reinterpret, guys, reinterpret key, you get that, key, reinterpret, okay, you heard it, key episodes of Star Wars The Clone Wars. One of the most striking by Jason Fry is an adaptation of the Season 1 episode Ambush. In this episode, Master Yoda found himself caught up in an adventure on the planet Ragosa, operating alongside three clone troopers. It was already a strong episode, but Fry's story adds more depth to it, revealing that Yoda received a vision from the Force. One that clearly, key word here is clearly, he received a vision from the Force that clearly warned him about Order 66. So in the beginning, it starts off by saying he got a warning from the Force, but he didn't understand it. Now it's saying that it clearly warned him, it specifically warned him about Order 66. It was clear. How could he miss that? Let's find out. Yoda found the clones disturbing, not least because he noticed they were treated more like mindless drones than people. Yeah, sounds like certain fast food employees because they were mass produced. No disrespect to fast food employees. That was actually my first job, by the way, guys. My first job was working in Kentucky Fried Chicken. And let me tell you, you don't want to know anything about that secret recipe. All right, so anyway, he found the clones disturbing, not least because he noticed they were treated more like mindless drones than people because they were mass produced. They tended to be thrown at targets without much interest in their survival, and they were not encouraged to acknowledge their individuality. Made for war, these children were, Yoda reflected. Made by the millions. Disposable, their makers consider them. Fuck them. Oh, no, he didn't say that. But worst of all, as far as Yoda was concerned, was a fundamental flaw in the clones' character. An instinct for obedience that he sensed had practically been programmed into them. As he meditated upon this, the Force granted him a vision of another presence, Yoda. One that felt like a vast storm in the Force, full of malice and greed. Wow. So when you hear something like that, or you get a feeling like that, that's not something that you kind of just sweep under the rug. If you had a feeling, right, you were standing around and the Force came out of nowhere to tell you that it felt another presence, one that felt like a vast storm in the Force, full of malice and greed. I don't know if you could ignore that. The Jedi Master intuited this storm was a vision of the future granted by the Force, one somehow associated with the clone army. But Master Yoda made the wrong decision. Let that marinate. Master Yoda made the wrong decision. Okay, bring in Sean Bean, bring in Ned Stark. Master Yoda does not simply make the wrong decision, okay? But that's what they want to have us believe, so okay, moving on. All right, he had seen thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of Padawans become distracted by glimpses of the future. The only thing, Yoda is not a Padawan. Can I get a amen? No, Yoda is supposed to be the most powerful. He's the tip top in the triangle, in the pyramid of the Force. There is no being distracted by glimpses of the future. When Yoda receives a glimpse of the future, my God, he has to actually acknowledge it. He has to mediate upon that. He has to think about it. God damn it, man, I feel something is going on. I gotta break this down, I have to. All right, but no. His distrust of ancient Jedi prophecies seems to have been proved right when Count Dooku left the Jedi and became a Sith Lord, because Dooku was one of the few Jedi who had studied the ancient Jedi prophecies, and he seemed to prove they would lead you down a dark path. Thus, while Yoda allowed the Force to guide him as it wished, he did not believe in pursuing visions. You see my hands, right? I'm talking about my hands here. He did not believe, this is, never mind. Where was I? Thus, Yoda allowed the Force to guide him as it wished. He did not believe in pursuing visions, nor even in exerting effort in order to understand those granted by the Force. He felt like he didn't even have to try. Okay, I see the Jedi being slaughtered, but I have no time for that. No time for that, have I? Anakin, you seem to be seething. I don't care. Care not, do I? All right, so it says here, all would be revealed in time. Time won't give me time, and time makes the lovers feel like they got something real. But you and me, you know we got nothing but time. Shout out to the Culture Club. Who remembers that you gotta be old, you gotta be ancient, like Yoda. Okay, it says here, all was indeed revealed in time, but too late. Had Master Yoda only joined those dots, and now they're saying Yoda can't even connect the dots. Had he only sought the Force and attempted to divine the warning, maybe it meant define the warning, he had received, he would have begun to uncover the horrific secret that lay at the heart of the Clone Wars. But he did not, and the galaxy's fate was sealed. All right, guys, there you go. So, translation, it was all Yoda's fault. All right, so let's just break it down. Maybe that's the reason why we see this latest interpretation of Yoda. That, as far as, what is it, the High Council, or is it High Republic, the High Council, whatever. So, yeah, maybe that's the reason why Yoda's looking all shifty-eyed, you know what I mean? Because maybe this reinterpretation that they're talking about, maybe they're going to reinterpret Yoda. Maybe it's going to turn out that Yoda might have known all along, what was going on. He might have even been for it. Maybe somehow this fits the overall plan of the Force. I don't know. But I don't know, guys, because, you could say, all right, that somehow in the saga, you kind of see Yoda being turned off and kind of being dismissive of visions and stuff like that. But this is not even about the Force. This isn't about visions. This is about common sense, bro. It's like, this is about when you walk into a dark house and the door is just open, when it's supposed to be. Like, if you come home, right, and you see your front door is open and it's all dark in there, you're not just going to walk in there and be like, nothing's going to happen to me. You know what I mean? You're going to be thinking, wow, this is strange. Something's going on here. Let me fall back. I got a feeling something's not right, Let me at least look around and, get a good overall view of what's going on here before I just go charging into the home. It's like Yoda had a feeling that they said, in their words, was a clear warning, and with the stakes being so high, he chose to ignore it. And as a result of that, everything was put in motion. You know what I mean? The younglings, you know what I mean? The younglings, everything, so this is deep, man. And I'm just wondering if this is going to be something that is explored more deeply. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up about what's going on here, so like I said before, if there are any Star Wars scholars in the house, how do you feel about this? Is it possible? Is it likely? Do you accept that Yoda knew and he had a clear warning that this was going to happen, and somehow it's in his character to not do anything about it? What the fuck? What is going on with the Jedi? You know what I mean? Have I misunderstood the Jedi? I'm feeling so disillusioned right now. But you guys, you can get in the comment section and share your views on this. You know, let me know, could it be true? Could it possibly be true? Let me know. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe, of course. And I'm going to leave the link to this article so you can, you know, dive in and look at it a little bit more deeply, you know, roll it around, marinate in it. And of course, the link to my Twitter page is going to be there too, so you guys can, you know, check me out on Twitter, give me a follow. And I'll catch you on the next one, guys. I feel so insecure right now. This is the gospel according to Mark with a C. Rock on.